Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everybody around the world. Welcome back to another One Piece video featuring your girl, Sugar. Get ready for a very spicy deck profile featuring OP10 here on the channel, let alone a leader in which I think a lot of people are very much excited for. And for those of you guys that don't know, Sugar is going to be a control-based deck, if you will. Now, her leader ability is a little bit different than something else you might be used to, such as the green Doflamingo from OP04. Very similar, except for Sugar has to meet requirements before the effect can take place. So, for example, Dofi's ability, at the end of your turn, you can set up to 2 of your Don as active. For free, there's no requirement, nothing else left to be said. For Sugar, at the end of your turn, if you have a character on board that has a Donquixote Pirates trait, then you can set up to 1 of your Don as active only if that character has 6,000 power or more. Now, if you notice, if we take a peek at the red and purple color variations with Sugar, there aren't very many Donquixote Pirates that you can utilize to meet this requirement other than a few. So we're talking Rosinante, Buffalo, and then you have Senior Pink with Diamante on top of Doflamingo. A couple of these characters you are only going to be utilizing in Sugar. So again, Doflamingo, Rosinante, and then perhaps Senior Pink. I've seen a lot of decks out there that don't use this card, but let me put you onto something when it comes to Sugar. Senior Pink allows you to recycle purple events from your trash, adding them back to your hand when he's played on the board, which is really ideal for this leader. Not so much in Doflamingo, but in Sugar, he makes a bigger impact. Now, outside of these 3 cards, Senior Pink, Doflamingo, and Rosinante, you're not necessarily going to be using anything else here. So keep that in mind. If you don't have one of those 3 cards on board, you're not going to be able to activate Sugar's end of turn ability. Her other ability, mind you, on your opponent's turn, when you activate an event, you can restand 1 of your Don as active. So in other words, you take a Don from your Don deck, kind of similar to Eustace Kid, the 5 cost. When you return a Don, you get a Don back, except for Sugar, when you activate a Don, then you can get a free Don from your Don deck as active, which is good. And that's how her abilities work. Let's go ahead and dive into the deck list here, see what we got cooking up, and we'll play a bunch of games as we typically do. What you may have noticed right away, Sugar utilizes a lot of events. Right, we have a lot of events here in this deck. We are running 20 events. Some lists will run more than this, some lists will run less. I, for one, like seeing most Sugar variations with 20 plus. I haven't really went over that budget and done some crazy things like 24. I've seen some lists out there that are running a ridiculous amount of events. I think 20 is that sweet spot when it comes to me. Now, there are some cards in here that you can cut or change out, because there are cards in this list in which you might be confused about, like Shanks maybe, for example, or Bon Clay, and we'll get into that. But without further ado, let's start with the elephant in the room. We are only going to be running 6 2K counters. 6 2Ks is a preference. A lot of the lists are just going to run 4, and I know that's still weird, because if you notice, every One Piece deck out there, almost, they run anywhere between 8 plus events, or sorry, 8 plus 2K counters. Sugar can get away with running 4, considering the fact the amount of events that we run to stay alive. I'm going to opt to run 6 just for my playstyle. Okay? Now, if you also notice, we run 4 Violas here. These are going to be blockers that I think are going to be staple when it comes to Sugar. Specifically for Sugar, just because for how this card works and interacts with the deck. Very similar to Senior Pink, except for when she blocks and is KO'd, she goes to the trash, and then you can -1 Don to recycle a purple event back to your hand. Very similar to one of the older cards from way back in the day, if you guys have been here for such a while, for Miss All Sunday. On KO, you can return any event from your trash to your hand, which was great, right? Very similar effect, except for Viola only grabs, purple characters, or purple events, which you can just recycle back and forth, which is nice. Now, The downside to this is, if this is removed from play with an effect or what have you, you cannot utilize the on KO effect. So do be mindful of that. The other cards here that you may not see in a lot of lists are going to be Shanks, Divine Departure, and Mr. 2 Bon Clay. We'll get into these real fast, and then we'll dive into a bunch of games today. Bon Clay is going to be a personal preference. You can definitely cut him out. I know he's pretty expensive out there when it comes to price-wise, but he does enable you to get a couple of early game plays, whereas if you see this guy on curve, you play him down, you go up to 5 Don, right? On the following turn, you go up to 7. So ideally, if you have Mr. 2 into Rosinante, you can play down Rosinante, and then you have 7 Don active. At the end of your turn, you can restand 3 Don, because you'll get 2 Don back from Rosinante, and then you'll get 1 Don back from Sugar. That's just my way of going about it. Ideally, you might not see this, but when he does come up, he gives you that extra ramp to play into Rosinante. He does have a preference there, but you can get away with cutting him out of the deck entirely. It's not really going to hurt you all too much. He's just a personal thing for me. He does make an impact, but your opponent will easily remove this. Don't expect to swing with him. Just get the Don, go about your day. The Rosinante, on top of that, is a staple card in Sugar. You must have this. Think of Rosinante for Sugar as Cavendish is for Jewelry Bonnie. Once this card hits the board, it enables a lot of different mechanics that the deck can do. The downside to it is your opponent also knows that, so they will be gunning to remove this as soon as possible. And if you notice, a lot of the meta nowadays, black decks, Smoker, Rob Lucci, even Gecko Moria is coming back, Blackbeard, you're going to have to deal with all of these, which every one of these decks have a very, very, very good removal curve. So being able to just get rid of this on site will very much hurt this deck. Now, if you can get this to stick, on play, you trash 1 event from your hands, which ideally will be a purple event. That way you can recycle it back with Viola or Senior Pink. If you don't have one, it be what it be. But you get to draw 2, you get a body on board, and then at the end of the turn, you get to restand 2 Don plus 1 with your Sugar, which helps you enable your events to flow. On top of this, we're going to be playing around with Doflamingo. This is going to be one of your key cards when it comes to the late game. Dofi, you minus 1 Don on play, and then you can play down a 5-cost character from your hands, or less, as long as it has Doflamingo Pirate type. So ideally, you're playing down Rosinante, you're playing down Senior Pink, or perhaps a blocker if this is all you have in hand. But both of these characters do a lot of things for the deck, whereas Senior Pink allows you to minus a Don, similar to Viola, except for this is on play, this is on KO. Senior Pink allows you to minus 1 Don, and then you're able to get back a purple event from your trash to your hand. So, Dofi gets you 2 bodies on board, which might get you extra Don at the end of your turn, or might get you an event, depending on what you have. Now, Shanks, Divine Departure, these are going to be personal preferences. I don't know why a lot of lists aren't utilizing this. I think you should look into it if you're wanting to play Sugar. I think Shanks is going to be that top-end character that really puts this deck over the edge. He lets you basically pop a lot of extra cards. So, Shanks always gives you that minus 1000 power to your opponent's characters on your turn or on your opponent's turn. With that being said, cards like Gum Gum Red Hawk, cards like Divine Departure will hit a lot more characters. This also enables you to pop things like Eustace Kid, when you have the opportunity to. No pun intended. But it's a very, very strong card for this deck. It also has Rush, allows you to clear board a little bit, enables your opponent's characters to have minus 1000 power, which also helps out with your events like Hell's Judgment here. So, something to think about when it comes to top end, when it comes to Sugar. And speaking of which, we do have one more event that is a little bit more expensive, which is going to be Black Bears. I only run 2 of these. I recycle this when I need it. I'll typically throw this away with things like Rosinante, because in the late game I can just get this back with a Senior Pink, if ideal. But usually I'm playing around with Hell's Judgment and the Searcher event more so, just to enable my abilities here with Sugar. Black Bears does help you out. It does allow you to draw an extra card, but it's a very situational event. Everything else here you're typically going to use outside of Divine Departure, just because this isn't searchable. Now, there are some cards in the deck in which you can cut out if you want to get a little bit more consistent by taking out Bon Clay, taking out the 2k counter if you don't feel you need it, by adding in some more Divine Departures to see this a little bit more often, or Senior Pinks or Black Bears, depending on your preferences. But ideally, we're going to jump into a bunch of games today. I do hope you guys are excited for this one. Let's get at it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today. Coming at you guys with Sugar, playing into Reiju, which I kind of forgot this deck existed, not going to lie. She does get a bunch of new stuff here in OP10, so I'm hoping that she can make a comeback. Kinda. But you know what? I'd kind of rather see Reiju running around than Blackbeard and Doflamingo, so hey, who's to say? In any case, this should be a very, very hard matchup for us due to the fact of how many bodies that she can slap on board and just rush my face down. So, an aggro deck at its finest, and it's very, very annoying for me to deal with just because she can recycle the Niji from trash. So, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We do have a really good start here. We have a nice hand. We can actually play Bon Clay down next turn if we need to, depending on what we draw. I do think she'll probably just go face here, because Sugar might not be that important to her to clear. She can get rid of that with Niji later. Okay, never mind. That's fair. So she clears this. She has 3 Dawn open, probably for a Porsche if I had to guess. Because I feel like every single Reiju player always has that opening hand. They didn't mulligan either, so... Yep, there it is. What do we get down here? Okay, so we have Chopper, Blocker. They get the draw. They get Reiju. Let's go 5 into this first. I like to try to play this match as I would play into Zoro. I'm trying to remove board as much as possible before I start going face. It might be the wrong play, especially into Reiju, but we'll see. We'll stand some extra Dawn with Bon Clay's effect. We have enough for Hell's Judgment here to slow them down. Sanji. This card is really good. I'm so glad they get another Searcher. Okay, so they get Germa Kingdom off that. That's ideal, too. Okay. They trash Ichiji, which tells me not a whole lot, actually. 5 lead. I don't necessarily want a Hell's Judgment here if I don't have to, but we can go ahead and take a couple of these hits. I can't take too many, so I definitely don't want to go down the 2 in the early game. So another 5, 3 Dawn open, maybe another Porsche, maybe. Because if we decide to go Hell's Judgment here, we could actually use this event, give us 3,000 power and -2 the Reiju, and get a Dawn active. Now remember, that takes it from the Dawn deck. It doesn't restand a Dawn, for example. And that's with Sugar's ability. Okay. Porsche. Don't do it. So they had Ichiji. Yep. Yep. Sure. It's not looking good for us here. Can we get a 5 card? Yes, we can. Okay, never mind. We're good, boys. We're good. We can play Dofi down. We can trash a Hell's Judgment here to play Rosinante. Draw 2. Double Rosinante. Not what I wanted to see. Let's go 5 into this. I should have attacked Porsche, actually. But she'll just get this back from trash. Or counter out. Yeah, we'll go into Porsche instead. We'll take it from Ichiji. This is who I should have attacked in the beginning. Because if they did let the Reiju go to trash, you can just recycle it and play it back down later anyway. Porsche, she could not. Please, thank you. Okay, that's 1 body less we have to deal with. We're staying 3 Dawn here. And now we have enough for Hell's Judgment. We have quite a bit of counter in hand. We do have a Shanks as well. Shanks will be really, really good in this matchup. Just a -1,000 across the board. We could Dofi effect as well. So 6, 7, 8, right? Yeah, we could Dofi effect. Makes us go up to 9 here. And then you can have this. Bonclay did his job. He also got a body out of it as well. Do you have another EGG? That's the problem. One is already problematic enough for us, but we'll see. Goes 5. We can go ahead and give them the Rosinante here. As much as I don't want to, we have to do it again. Because if we decide the Judgment, right, she just plays another EGG down and goes face again. Yep. I don't think I can take any of these hits right now. I think we have to stabilize to be able to play Shanks. Because if we can get Shanks down without a blocker on board, we can go ahead and get rid of the 7 cost. This hit we'll have to take. Okay, so we get a sugar off that. Oh, so they do have a blocker. Interesting. I'm assuming they're using the event stage here. Okay, never mind. Black Maria comes down. Very, very good here. Yep, equal Dawn. Sure. Double Hell's Judgment. Which is great, because now we can play down Shanks. And clear board. You know, I should have played Shanks first. My fault. My fault. Mistakes were made. My bad. Okay. Alright. We'll have to attack with everything here. Rosinante will have to act like a blocker as well. But again, we have double Hell's Judgment to protect him. Give me the chopper. Yep. Run Shanks into this as well. Okay. So the way this is going to work, we'll get back 3 Dawn, right? When we activate 1 Hell's Judgment, we'll get back another Dawn due to Sugar's ability. So then we'll have 2 Dawn left to spare to activate the other Hell's Judgment. And then we'll get back 1 of those Dawn from the Dawn deck when she attacks using Dofi's ability. Which is nice. So basically we'll only lose 1 Dawn for activating 2 Hell's Judgments. Yep. So I can't use this effect yet. I have to use Hell's Judgment first. We'll minus the Dawn, and then we'll get it back as active with Sugar's ability. Because now we have a Dawn in the Dawn deck to get back as active with Sugar. Very confusing, but it takes a lot of repetition, I think, with Sugar for people to pick up on her. I think she is one of the harder decks to manage, you know? Porsche comes down, sure. Yep, sure. Well, she's going for Rosinante here, which again, he's going to act as a blocker. I think we have to keep him on board. So I need to be able to combat her board as well. Yep. I guess we go lead here, right? And then we give the 2k counter. Are we good? That's a lot of Dawn minus, or sorry, a lot of minus power effects. Raise you, sure, draws 2. I'm not sure how we're gonna get out of this one, to be fair. I think that would have been better if we saw another event. Alright, Sugar. Please. Dofi's really not going to help here. I need an event. Oh, this'll do. Yep. And then we just clear board. I mean, maybe we'll get there. I don't know. We'll go 5 here. So I think what we need to win, perhaps, is going to be another event off life. Yep. We haven't seen any Violas all game, which does suck. She may just go for face, which is okay. Because she only has 2 attackers right now, right? She has the Reiju and the Porsche, plus lead, and then maybe another Ichiji. I can afford to take 1 hit, and then Shanks already enables me to minus 1,000 power, so she's going to have to attach Dawn at the very least. Alright, 8 lead. 6 left. We take the hit. We get it. We do have 1. Alright, so we're good. We're good. We're good. We're chilling, boys. If this can draw into another event, I think we got it. Well, here we go. Let's find out. Please. We got there. There's Black Bears. Black Bears enables us to go plus 4k, draw another card. It doesn't matter. So we can play this, go up to 3,000 power, minus the leader by 2k. Right? So if she wants to play down Ichiji, the 4 cost, she doesn't have enough Dawn to attach the win. So Porsche comes down, plays down 4 cost Ichiji, I'd assume. Yep. Minuses the Dawn. He's a 6 because of Shanks. He goes up to 8k. So all we have to do is Black Bears and we win, right? Because next turn we can just go for face. And we draw another Bears. So even without Shanks here, we have the dub. Nice. Well played. Because they don't have enough counter for the following turn, I don't think. Because we just go 12 and 12 with Dofi and Shanks and rest on Sugar, go for face. I think that'd have been it. Yeah? Round 2. Playing into Bello Betty. Another very, very aggressive deck here. Especially in OP10. Sure. I mean, we got a lot of early game events here. Being Divine Departure. We didn't have to mulligan, so I'll take that. I got a Karasu. We'll pass turn here. I think the Gum Gum Redhawks are probably going to be our best friends in this matchup. Because it allows us to pop the small bodies. Or at least the ones in which she doesn't boost. 5 lead. We can take a couple early game hits, but I have to be a little bit mindful here on what we do. Because I could do this, we can pop this and remove it immediately. We gain 1 active Dawn, right? So now we go to 5 next turn. Sure. Morley hits the board. And we get a Resonante. We have to play this. We'll trash 1 of these, gain 2 events. Love to see it. Okay. I would have thought she would have taken the hit. But that's fine. We do have 1 Dawn active for Divine Departure, which makes us a 8k, so I think we're okay. We know that she has Karasu, right? So Karasu with maybe leader ability and Morley swinging with leader. I don't have a way of popping anything on board, so I'm going to have to take a couple of these hits here. Because if I Divine, I get 1 Dawn back, and that's it. 4 Dawn left. So we give you the 2k here. She plays down Karasu. Oh, okay. That's weird. Basil Hawkins, never mind. That's a very scary yellow card, by the way. Very strong. We can Sugar first. We can see more cards with Sugar versus the 1 cost event. I wish I could take Shanks. That'd been so cool. We'll grab this. Play another Rosie down. Toss that and get that back later if need be. Let's go 5 into Morley. This will get cards out of hands. So we know they have Karasu, right? Which I imagine they'd keep. Which will push them down to 2 cards left. Oh, okay. Never mind. We'll get back all of our Dawn almost. Basil Hawkins. Interesting. As long as we don't kill that, or if we kill it when it doesn't necessarily matter, we'll be fine. Sure. I find that a little weird. We can protect this, though, by the way. We could do it. I just don't think that's worth it. Because we could go ahead and 2-cost event into the Red Hawk to pop the Basil Hawkins here. And then give a 2k counter on top of Sugar to keep it alive. But I don't think that's worth it. We'll take the 2k. We'll gain the active Dawn. Now we're at 5 again. Is it worth it? Nah. She can have it. Well, we could have done it, though. We could have protected it and killed the Basil Hawkins. Then we could have lost a life. She's at 7. What are we doing here? We do need to see Doflamingo or Shanks to, like, be set up here. Because in this matchup, I really don't want to start swinging with Rosinantes unless we absolutely have to, or we don't have another way out. Yep. Give me a boost. Minus 2,000 here, just because. Then we can Red Hawk just to kill it. I know that was crazy. We had to activate a lot of events just to do that, but getting rid of that Karasu is definitely worth it. There's Doflamingo. We can minus a Dawn, play down Viola. Yep. And then we'll get back 1 Dawn from Sugar and then 4 Dawn from Rosinante. So we'll be at 7 Dawn at the end of the turn. I don't really want to attack into Basil Hawkins either, so... But we have to get rid of him off the board. Can I have this? I'll push it. I'll definitely push it. Nice. Works for me. Let's poke face. Well. Nah. Just because we cannot block with it, if Morley gets the boost, you know what I mean? If she decides to run into Rosinante here, we're going to be forced to play an event to keep him alive. I kind of feel bad for Bello, because we necessarily don't have to attack face until we establish a board. We can establish a board with most of our events by removing other characters with Red Hawks and stuff. Because then when she attacks us, we just turn it back around and sweep her board before we have to go face. So she's not going to be utilizing triggers here at all unless I want her to. Karasu comes back, makes me a 4. We're at 9. That'll give us another Dawn here. Sure. Might have been a misplay, but it's okay. She's going to attack me with Morley as well. Let's take this one. We get... Ooh, okay. That's not bad. It's our second Hell's Judgment. Yep. Sure. I wonder if that's just to have the body on board here. What's in trash? Okay, so we can get back a 1-cost Searcher event with Senior Pink. Let's remove the Karasu first. Four Dawn left, so we can't play down Senior Pink right now. But I could start poking. Let's go 5 lead. So I think we are in a position with being able to survive. Sure. Let's go 7 here. This might be risky. Yep. Let's do it again. So I think we can survive next turn. Yep. This will put her to 0. Or give me the blocker. And then we set up 5 Dawn. So we have enough for double events on top of whatever that life card is going to be. So we've got double events with 2 2K counters here, with 1 blocker on board. So Viola can block anything else that she decides to attack with, outside of Morley. Here comes the boost. I think this is the one that we can take, because she can attack with everything this turn. So she's got 6 attacks on board. I think this one would be safe, because everything else will probably get Dawn attached, if I had to guess. If I start here, if I Hell's Judgment here, we target this, right? And we target the Karasu. We'll get the Dawn back as active. So now Karasu can't swing unless Dawn is attached to it, which is fine. Because that means she needs to give it 3 Dawn to swing 7. I think that's math. We still have the blocker up. Another Karasu comes down. Minuses me again. That's going to be a problem. Six into 4? Okay. Oof. Math. It's hard. That's my bad. Alright, so we might actually get cooked. We'll see. I think we minus on Koala. And we minus on Leader here. As much as I didn't want to do this. But he played down the Karasu and I already forgot about the Karasu, so that's my bad. But this is fine though. Because she has to attach 1 Dawn to Karasu to be able to swing, and then 2 Dawn to Koala for swinging. Which leaves 2 Dawn open. So depending on what this life card is, maybe that'll net us the game. Goes 6. We'll block out. We'll get the event back from trash. We'll minus this, get Hell's Judgment back. And this will be GG for them. Because no matter how they split this with their Dawn, they can't get over it. Because I can even take this attack and still be fine, if I wanted to. So we'll Hell's Judgment, -2, -2, 3, math's hard, -3, -3. She gives 2 to this, then swings at me as 6. Yep. And then we just take this hit and clap back next turn. Good game. Well played. So I assume you've noticed by now, like this deck is it's a lot of math, man. It's a lot of math, but it's a lot of fun to play. Depending on what leader you're going against, I think Sugar has either a very good time or you just get run over. There are certain decks in the format in which I don't want to play Sugar into, and that's like playing against Rob Lucci, any black deck that can remove, because like I said before, you need to have Rosinante on board to enable a lot of things. Doflamingo, and the meta is very much made of Doflamingo. Very hard deck for Sugar to get around. A lot of bodies on board swinging at my face. I have played this into Smoker, of course, the new Smoker from OP10. I think that deck is very, very scary into Sugar. You can pull the W off, but Hody Jones really just messes up your day a lot of the time. Just because he's able to rest your Dawn, so. But I do think Sugar overall is a lot of fun. I don't think she's necessarily going to be like a tier 1 tier 1 deck, maybe low tier 2, borderline tier 3 at most, but she definitely is worth the pickup. Go ahead and get another search off here. We'll take this. We'll pass it over after we swing for... No, we don't need to swing for 6. I guess we can, but we don't have to. I could have swung 5 and just lived with it. Of course you get a trigger. Why wouldn't you get a second Satori? I think Calgera is going to be really, really good too once EB2 gets here and he gains access to the new Enel. This is probably going to be another deck that we have to watch out for. Is he going to heal himself so many different times? With Norland and Calgera being on board, pretty spooky. And then with Enel, it's going to be a rough, man. The deck's already aggressive. It can match bodies with Doflamingo. It has a way out with a 10 cost Enel for healing. Just something to think about. Yep. I'll take that, sure. So we get... I could give him a 2k here, but he's just going to swing at me with Satori anyway. So I don't think it matters. Black Bear gives us another Dawn. That goes up to 4, 5, 7. I think this is actually good. We can just use this to get the ramp up. It's we're at 5, right? So we go to 7 next turn with Rosinante, which allows us to restand Dawn at the end of the turn. So we have enough Dawn to restand to use both our 2-cost events. Ooh. I won't use this one. Actually, you know what? In hindsight, we should have used it. Because then we could have played Doflamingo down with Rosinante there. And that would have been really, really good. Oh well. It's fine. We'll get rid of it. Yep. I don't want to go face here, so we're going to try to clear board if possible. I think going for the Satori was not going to happen, you know what I mean? So if we do that, that's 3, 4, 5. I think we can play down Sugar and be okay. But we wouldn't be able to search with it, so I don't think it necessarily matters. So we do Black Bears into the 2-cost event instead. And then if we have to, we can discard the Sugars and the Giola for counter. That way we can draw a card off the Black Bears. I'm assuming he's using Braham just to get rid of the stages. So for decks like Blackbeard and stuff, which makes sense. Pretty smart idea. So pushes us up to 8k. We -2 on here, gain an active Dawn back. Which now enables us to use Black Bears and perhaps draw into something else. Oh, he didn't swing. Cool, never mind. All this planning for nothing. Let's go 5 lead. What's in trash here? What do we have? Okay, so we have 2 purple events that I can recycle back with Senior Pink. So Dofi's a good play here. We minus the Dawn, because now we're at 8 Dawn. Let's grab Black Bears. Restand 1. And then we'll go back up again. Now we're at 6. So we have enough to do double Black Bears here. And draw twice. If we play this correctly. Because everything else in the hand we can just discard for, you know, for counter. Besides the Shanks, right? I think getting Shanks down in this matchup is going to be really, really good for us. Just because the -1 across board. With the Dawn back from Dofi. Give him a 2k and a Sugar. So now 1 Black Bears will allow us to draw 1 card. Because we're at 5. We'll gain an active Dawn back. So if he attacks with 7k with Wiper, we'll give him the 2k counter and the Sugar. And then Black Bears will protect us from Calgera, right? If he goes all in. Or if he doesn't go all in. Because it also enables us to draw a card. Sure. If he goes 9, leaves up a Dawn. Just goes 7. Okay, never mind. We have to do it anyway. Oof. That sucks. I think we got 2 Doflamingos off 2 draws of black bears. That sucks. Go 5 here first. We're going to try to clear a board if possible, and I should have played down Shanks first, I think. I did it again, but it's okay. I don't think it matters too much at this point. Because if he wants to give us cards from hand, that's totally okay. But ideally, I should have played Shanks first. I just didn't know if he was going to counter out. I think if he would have countered, then I would have played Shanks following. But I guess this works too. A Nell, huh? Interesting. I wonder if he... I guess it really doesn't matter here, right? You don't have the counter for it. But what if you forgot the 1k and just decided to run it into it? Because if we had a 2k counter, we've been chilling, you know? Ooh. If only he had attacked first. Double Red Hawks. Cool. I think we are in a position to do this and be fine. Because we can just restand the extra Dawn. Oh, no, I can't. Never mind. I can't do that. At least we can clear that, though. Go 5 lead. 6, and we'll go 12 with Shanks as well. Okay. No trigger? Please? Nice. I might as well at this point. So your boy's on 0. We have enough for 1 Red Hawk. Okay. We have enough for 1 Red Hawk and a Viola. That pushes us up to 10k. If he attacks first with lead, we pop up the Satori with the Red Hawk. Nice. Interesting. It seems I'm getting a lot of aggro decks today, which I can't complain about too much. I know Zoro gets a little bit stronger in EBO2 as well, and unfortunately, Sim isn't separated just yet, where it's just OP10, you know what I mean? So I am playing against other decks in EBO2 format, so that does kind of suck to see. Although, Zoro in EB2 is going to be pretty spooky, I think. Definitely pretty spooky when it comes to seeing all these black decks being pretty dominant. You know, Blackbeard and all that sort of thing. Zoro might do well, but we'll find out. 8 to face? Sure, buddy. Why not? I mean, I could event here, but eh. Should we? Should we event? Should we event? Nah. I do think having these events here in the early game is really going to help us out in this match. That gets us Rosinante. I'll go 5 lead. And as much as I want to throw down Viola, it's probably the correct play. Because then we can minus the Dawn. Actually, no, we won't. Because if we minus the Dawn here, we won't be able to go back up to 5 next turn. So I think we just block with her and not use her ability. Which is awkward, but what else are we going to do? That chopper is really good, by the way. Attaching 2 Dawn and this character just gains 2,000 power on your opponent's turn. It's pretty nice. And it gives you a rested Dawn for your leader on play. So, you spend 3, you automatically get the rested Dawn. Then you have 2 Dawn left on this curve, which allows you to play like other searchers or a Machina or what have you. So I'm guessing this is going to be a Zoo Zoro, judging by the chopper. Which I think those are still the most popular. Even going into EB. I know the deck does change quite a bit, but still. Leaving up 1 Dawn. 9 lead. I think your boy is just trying to beat me down. Because knowing the Sugar deck, you don't really have a lot of blockers outside of Viola. And I have no Dawn up for events, so. There's the Machina. Alright, so we're at 6. I guess we can play down Sugar and Rosinante here. But I think I need one Don up in case he plays down anything else that's viable. What do we get here? Nothing really. We'll take this. That kind of sucks. We'll go 5 lead. Next turn I'll do Doflamingo and Rosinante. For now we'll just pass it. Please no triggers. Not sure what he would be playing here trigger-wise anyway. Sure. We have 4 Dawn to play around with here with our events, so I can pop anything he decides to drop on board with our Red Hawks if we need to. I think he's playing this deck a little bit interesting, a little aggressive instead of just developing bodies on board. Maybe he's played into Sugar already and he knows how the deck works. I think this time around, though, considering we have Dawn up, he's not going to be able to just run his face into me, you know? Yep. 4 Dawn left, so that means he has access to Kid and Killer, Zoro, a lot of other rush units that can come down and hit me this turn. We haven't seen any searchers from him yet, which is nice. 7 face. He can't swing with anything else here. And I cannot pop the chopper. I can't pop any chopper here with Red Hawk. Because they gain the extra power, so I'd have to drop this event and then Red Hawk one if I wanted to kill it. And it's really not worth it. So we'll get a Dawn back for that. I mean, I guess we can just Red Hawk that one. Sure. Why not? Just going 6. This is really our only way out then. I mean, it's 1 body off board. We might as well. Sure. Okay, now we're cooking. Ooh. Alright, Doflamingo first. Let's go 5 into this first. Sorry. I didn't think we'd get it, but it's okay. I'll minus the Dawn for Dofi. We'll play down Rosinante. We can toss out the Divine Departure or the 1-cost purple event. I think the purple is obviously better, just because, like I mentioned, we can search it out later on with Senior Pink or Viola. Implying we can use them, you know what I mean? But still. We have 1 Dawn open for Divine Departure, which pushes us up to 8k. Or we search out with Sugar, which gets us not bad, actually. A second Rosinante would be pretty good. But Viola allows us to get back other purple cards as well. I think Rosie is the better pick here. Set up. So now we can Divine Departure and the 2-cost event. Which, that pushes us up to 8, and we get minus 2,000 power from something. Also, keep in mind, he hasn't dropped any 1-cost units on board for Makino to boost, but I really haven't been attacking face for him to gain a bunch of cards yet, so that's probably my doing. Other than him not drawing into them. And we haven't seen Chopper here either, by the way. So maybe this is just an unlucky matchup, or unlucky, like, Zoro rounds, it feels. Not that we're any close to winning the game, but still. Alright, go 6 lead. I think we have to start blocking here. Alright, so we go 6 lead. We can Dofi ability, right? So we'll get the Dawn back. I give him a 2k counter here. Or we can take this hit. Give him the 2k Giola. He's got 6 Dawn open. 7 leave with Zoro. I have to be mindful of the Kid and Killer. That's what I'm trying to play around here. Because I don't want to go down to 1. -2 on Zoro. Gain the active Dawn. So you have 2 left here for another 2-cost event. It's 2 into 5. Give him the Rosinante that he knows that we have. Still, 2 Dawn open. Makino has still been irrelevant, which is nice. There's a Kid and Killer. I imagine it goes 7 here. Yeah, so if he put us at 2, Kid and Killer would have perhaps put us at 1, or forced us to at least use a lot more events. And now we just clear a board, because we have Shanks here as well. And I think this time we'll do it correctly. We'll drop Shanks first, and then we'll start attacking. 5 into 3. Oof. Nah, we'll do it this way instead. Just to get it off the board. Remember how I told you Sugar's kind of like a control deck? It's doing quite well. We'll activate our event here, which pushes Shanks up to 15 and minuses 2,000 power on Zoro leader. So, we got out of this. We don't have any Dawn to active, so it's fine. I think next turn we can start beating on him, because now we can drop down another Shanks and just go face, 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 face. If he pops it, he pops it. Nice. I should be able to put him on 0. Weird. So he counters this one. Alright. That's brave. I think that's game over. Yep. Interesting. Yeah, so there's all his 1 costs and his choppers. I think we'll do one more game after this one that we'll dive back down into the deck list here. And for record, I do think playing against any green deck is probably one of the hardest decks to play for Sugar, just because Hody Jones exists. I'm not telling you that this deck is very good into any of the other top decks in the format, like again, Rob Lucci, Blackbeard, or Doflamingo. Just saying in general, green decks really give Sugar a hard time. So Jewelry Bonnie, Smoker, being able to utilize the Hody Jones is very, very good at resting Dawn, which stops us from using a lot of our stuff here. And then I've noticed, Smoker in particularly, we don't have a lot of ways of attacking this leader until the late game. If we want to commit, we give up using events by attaching Dawn to our leader to swing. Being able to drop down this chopper, for example, is a 7k. So I'm not attacking him because I can't get through. And we're also not going to be attacking with Rosinante either. So it just makes this leader very, very good here into Sugar. And I could be wrong. Maybe I'm playing this matchup incorrectly, but I think that's just the way it is. Once Smoker hits the board, and he's able to combo that up with a Tashigi or Rosinante, which he probably has the Dawn here to do so. It's very hard for me to get over this one. Now, there are certain situations where I can, with the 2-cost event on top of Red Hawk, to pop the Sugar, or sorry, to pop the Smoker. But if they have Tashigi on board, it just is a wrap, you know? Getting the Banish off into this matchup is not great. Unless it's a purple event that goes to trash. If it's a big body, it really just hurts you a whole lot. Like, I want to swing here, but I really can't. I can't commit the Dawn to be able to do so, because Chopper's a 7k. If we drop the Viola here and she goes to trash, we can minus the Dawn to get back a Hell's Judgment, which is okay. Okay. I told you, Mr. 2 doesn't really do a whole lot, man. He just gives you the Dawn up, and that's about it. But Smoker's board is pretty scary. I don't know what I'm going to do. Yep. I think we have to guard here. He's got 2 Dawn up. If we give him with the Red Hawk... Actually, let's Red Hawk this, and we'll pop the Rosinante. No, we'll pop the Chopper. So that way we can start attacking. And then we just give him a 2k counter. Otherwise, we just lose... We lose the card off life here. Because I could Black Bears, but that seems like a little irrelevant and a little excessive. So I think he'll go 7 with lead. Okay, never mind. It was 5. We can take this hit. We get a Shanks, which is pretty good here. Double Rosinante. That sucks. Ooh. We Dofi to Senior Pink. Because that gets us back a Hell's Judgment as well. Right? Yeah. So we -1. We play down Senior Pink. We minus another. We'll take this. So now we're at 8 Dawn. I can actually attack him now because Sanji's off the board. 3, we have 5, 6. I can only attach 1 Dawn here if I want to swing. So I think what I'll do, I'll go 5. This may be a weird play, but we'll go 5. And then I'll go 5 with Viola. This will force him to either clear it or let this attack go through. Sure. We'll pass it over. Now we'll go back up to 5 Dawn. So now what we can do is we can Hell's Judgment. And if he wants to attack into Viola, we can let her go, minus a Dawn, and get back to Hell's Judgment again. Never mind. Plans are ruined. So he rests Senior Pink and Rosinante. He's got 6 Dawn left. So I'm going to assume he's going for my board here. Yep. Okay. Well, Dofi effect, get the Dawn back. And I think we have to protect our board, no matter what. So if we Judgment, minus 3,000 power, that'd be minus 3,000 power from here. We'll get the Dawn back as active. Bears will allow us to draw a card as well. Yep, goes 8. I think we have to let this one go. Because if I Bears to protect him, right, he'll probably just clear it with Leader and then run the other Smoker to my face, which I don't have any counter for. And then he'll banish a card off the life as well. At least that's what I'm thinking. Because he has way too much Dawn left to stack on the other Smoker and just go lead. And we have no counter in hand. Yeah, okay. Because I don't think he's going to clear the Viola here. I think he just goes face. Okay. So I either risk saving this, right? Okay, alright, hold on. Not bad. Oh. Okay. Interesting. I'll take this, thank you. I feel that's a little weird, isn't it? That's strange. So now we have Shanks here as well. We have enough events to keep us alive next turn as well. We Dofi into Senior Pink. We draw back a Bears. And I think we're chilling. I think we have to try to clear board at the very least, right? I think we have to go for board. Rosinante is here, so he is a problem. If I play Shanks down, everything gets minus 1,000 power, and I don't think that's enough still. Go 5 face. So I'm not going to be attaching Dawn here, the sugar anyway. So we'll go 6. Maybe they'll attack Senior Pink next turn again. Dofigo's going to go face. It doesn't matter if we go for anything else on board because he has Rosinante. So we'll drop a Dofi. We'll play another Senior Pink down. We'll do it again. because that gives us... We don't have Rocinante on board, so that's not really going to be our thing. I think we're going to have to take the 1-cost event, and then the 1-cost event is going to have to draw us a 2-cost event in order to get out of this. Or the 2-cost event is going to have to come from life. Saw that coming. I think now we're cooked. I think we're cooked. What is it? Hey, actually, this might work. We'll give us 1,000 power. Because he's got 5 Dawn left, right? 2 7s and 8. He could potentially go 9 with lead, 9 with Hody, and 2 7s. Okay, or 10k. Interesting. A little weird of a play, but that's fine. So I think if we would have done the Hell's Judgment there, it wouldn't have mattered because we needed other cards to protect it. And I think I would have done 9k with lead and then 9k with Hody and went 7-7. That's probably what I would have messed up with. So I feel like his math's a little weird here. Because we Hells here. And we get 1 Dawn left. Because Sugar's ability. We minus this here as well. We get the active back. Now, Ben Beckman can't swing. Unless he attaches a Dawn on him, right? And we get the 2k counter. Because we're a 6. So, if Ben Beckman wants to attack, he has to attach both Dawn to him to be able to swing on me for 6k. Or he can attach both Dawn to Smoker and swing on me for 7 and we have the 2k counter. Well played. That was good. That was really good. Clutch, but really good. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the last game of the day that we'll dive back into the deck list here as we typically do. I do hope you guys are enjoying this one. I think that Smoker game was my most stressful game of the day with Sugar, and we played a lot with this deck the past couple of days, but I think Smoker is probably my hardest matchup outside of the usual, but I typically try to avoid, Blackbeard and Dofi if possible, you know what I mean? But outside of that, yeah, Smoker's very, very tough. Very, very tough. Usopp, on the other hand, is a very scary deck to play into as well. Not only for Sugar, just in general. The man has Board Swarm. He gets the draw mechanics. He has ways of bouncing cards with Kyros. Bottom decking with Red Rock. Very, very fun leader to play. Although I do not like the character. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Anyway, let's go 5 lead. I'm hoping my Sugars act as a little bit of a blocker. That'd be nice. Leo's probably going to clear one. And I can counter out, actually. I can counter with the 2k, but it's not worth it. Goes 5 to other Sugar, I'd assume. Never mind. Goes lead. We'll take it. Okay, so I can clear the Leo without him drawing cards with the leader ability, which is nice. Plays another Leo down. Yep. Draws Frankie. Sure. Trashes Sabo. Goes 2. Coliseum's pretty good, man. You would. You would, yep. That's fair. Alright, so we'll go 5 into Bart here first. Hopefully we can get rid of this. Nice. Okay. We can do a lot of plays here. I think we just have to get Rocinante down first. And we just trash the 1-cost event. Okay, not bad. So we're at 5. We'll go to 7 next turn. No, we'll go to 8 next turn. Because when he attacks this, we can activate Sugar's ability to ramp up a Dawn when we activate an event here, right? Because we can use the 1-cost event to go up to 6. And then we'll go up to 8 with Dofi. Yeah, that's fine. Sure. Yep, gain the Dawn. And you got it. So we got double events here. One off the search, one off life. Now we're at 8. 3 events. So then we can play down Doflamingo into Senior Pink, which is good. Would you like to go down the 2 life? Of course not. Okay. So Dofi into Senior Pink. We'll get back a 1 cost from the trash. That's all we have here. We'll stand a Dawn off of Senior Pink. We'll do a search. I'll take this all day. And then we'll intern here. So we'll stand back up 3 Dawn. Or not 3. Considering I minus 2 Dawn there, you know, math's hard. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Because we're at 6 instead of 7. You know what I mean? Senior Pink made it where I had to minus a Dawn for the effect. So. And I wouldn't have been able to play down Senior Pink if I didn't do Dofi's ability. So I think we had to do it that way anyway. So it's fine. We'll ramp back up. We'll grab a 2K. We'll get the Dawn active. Now we're at 8 again. We'll give him the 2K counter. This could be a Kyros turn if he has it. Because then he could just remove the Rosinante back to hand. I hope not, but it could be. Don't do me like that, Usopp. I thought we were friends. Oh, okay, Senior Pink, cool. No problem. Anytime, buddy. I mean, he wants to throw back Senior Pink, that is totally fine with me. I think I would have chosen Rosinante, but, you know, who's complaining? I wonder if... I think a lot of lists don't, but I think they can still fit her in if they were running the pudding. I really hope not, but, you know, could be pretty good right now. 2, 4, 6, 8. Right? So that's 8 Dawn we'll need to utilize most of our events here. Perhaps we don't do all too much here. I think we go 9K into Cavendish first. Just in case he decides to take the hit if we go 5 into lead. Can I have this? Thank you. Cool. Okay, not bad. I need as much Dawn as I can to survive here. It's very, very risky. I think Shanks is not the play. I think he's not really going to be the play, but this will push him down to 2. And if I lose off this, it's my fault. I think if I would have played Doflamingo down with a Senior Pink, it would have been a little bit better. But at least this way, we can minus 1,000 power from Kyros, which makes it a little bit manageable. A little bit more manageable with our events that we have in hand here. So I think the only way we can play around this is using the 2-cost event to minus the Kyros and then take the other hit, which puts us to 0. She doesn't necessarily utilize rushers, so I don't have to worry about that too much, and Leo's not going to be attacking. Okay, so he's removing Doflamingo, that's fine. Not really, but it's okay. Yep. It's a really good card too, Zoro. It's really nice. So that's gone. Okay, so I can counter this one out and then take the Kyros. Like I planned, only be able to take 1 damage this turn. Which is okay. I think we need to force him to attack with Kyros, though. That way Shanks can perhaps run into it next turn. If we use a 2-cost event now and then he decides not to attack with the Kyros, then there's no point. But just in case, right? I think we have to take this hit. I think we're fine by taking this hit. Now he attacks with Kyros for 8K. Or 9, he has a Dawn up. Yep. Okay, so we're fine. We don't have any Dawn to gain back. 4 cards in hand. I can't pop Zoro if I wanted to, because he's a 6, he'd be at a 5k. I was going to Red Hawk, but I couldn't do that. How do we win this? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 Dawn worth of events in hand here. Give me a second. Let me think. If I play Shanks, we lose, right? Because that'll put in the 0. Yes, it minuses 1,000 power, but I think that's irrelevant. At this point here, we should be able to clear this unless he wants to give me his whole hand. If this can go, then we can win. So he needs 5,000 counter for this. So perhaps 3 2Ks if he has it. If this goes, we can win the game. Because even if he stacks everything on Zoro and goes 16k to face, or 15k to face because we have Shanks on board, I think we're fine. We go 5 lead. Okay. We'll go 6 lead as well. Alright, so now he's at 1. I think we have to play Dofi here. I know it's weird, but I think we have to play Dofi just to be able to get back the Dawn from the Dawn deck with Sugar's ability when we activate an event. That'll give us 1 from Senior Pink, right? So that's 3 Dawn. 1 from Sugar, that's 4 Dawn, then 2 from Rosinante. So we have access to 3 events plus 1. Or we can play it super risky and not play anything. Because if he decides to clear board here with like a Red Rock or something. So we'll minus the 1. So now we have 1 that we can put back in active with Sugar's ability. We take a Searcher. We restand, then we'll restand again. 3 more Dawn. So now we have 6 Dawn left to play with. That is 3 events that I can utilize here. Suru and Leos aren't attacking. So I have to worry about just Usopp and Zoro here. No rush units. So I should be chilling. Because at most, Zoro can swing at me at 15,000. Okay, never mind, I lied. That's a Kong gun. That's my fault. Ooh, so we need to get lucky here. That's my bad. Oh well. Alright. Can we do this? That's 6k. So we have to use both 2-cost red events here. Yep. We gained the active Dawn. And then we have to do it again. That's 14 to 12. Oh, so we're out. Because all I have to do is Red Hawk. No. Because Usopp can still swing at me for 5. Never mind. So we have to Red Hawk here to get out of here. If we Black Bears, we lose. Because Black Bears allows us to draw 1 card, right? Yes, it protects us for this hit, but it draws 1 card. Whereas that's all of our Dawn. I think we have to use the 1 cost in the Red Hawk, and then the 1 cost event, we'll search for 3 instead of 1. So we're out of that one. And all I need to do is find a 1k counter. I mean, can you be mad though? Can you be mad? Well played, man. Yeah, wow. Alright. Sugar's like that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the end of the video, in which today we played around with Sugar in OP10. This is a very, very fun leader that kind of took me by surprise. I didn't think Sugar would be as similar to some of the other decks out there in the past, such as Purple Blue Crocodile. Very similar style deck where we utilize a lot of events to get draw mechanics or to chain events back to back. Very fun to play. Let alone Viola, very similar to Miss All Sunday that we used in the past for blue, which allows us to just recycle events. Very, very fun deck to play. Sugar does have a lot of drawbacks though. She struggles against decks that are very, very good at removal. So things like Rob Lucci and Blackbeard and the Boa Hancock that is coming back in OP10. You will be seeing this deck a lot more. So by being able to remove Rosinante with ease, decks that have access to that make Sugar struggle. If you're playing this deck into aggro matchups, so decks like Zoro or Yamato, Blue Doflamingo, you can do well. I'm not going to tell you that this matchup by any means is favored to Sugar, because it's definitely not. Dofi should be able to run you over. But if you guys see the right pieces, like Hell's Judgment into some Red Hawks in the early game, you can slow this deck down a little bit. It still is very, very hard to deal with. But overall, Sugar herself is a lot of fun to play. Just pray that you don't run into Blackbeard and Marshall D. Teach, or sorry, Blackbeard and Rob Lucci. Other than that, though, I had a lot of fun playing Sugar. I do hope you guys pick her up and give her a shot. She's not going to be a tier 1 deck by any means, but she will be a low tier of tier 2 or maybe tier 3 at most. There are some things in this deck in which I will be changing when it comes to Sugar, and I might just toss out Mr. Tubon Clay and run a couple other cards here. I'm going to go ahead and mention them real fast. I know somebody probably is already yelling at me why I'm not using this, etc. It's going to be Blast Breath. I'm going to go ahead and put you on this real quick and how this works. With Sugar's ability, if you have 1 Dawn active, you play Blast Breath and you minus a Dawn, for example. Well, with that being said, considering, let's say you're at 10 Dawn when you do this. Now you're at 9 Dawn because you had to minus the Dawn with Blast Breath. Well, considering you did that, you activated an event. Now you can take that Dawn that you minused and gain it back as an active. So technically you can play down 2 Blast Breaths back to back, which is really good here. So Bon Clay might get replaced for this. This card also helps you out when it comes to Senior Pink and Viola. That's just my 2 cents for this card. There's a lot of things that this deck can do. So you can change your own ratios. You can have a different deck entirely when it comes to Sugar. I do hope you guys pick her up and give her a shot. Leave your thoughts and comments down in the comments below. Remember, boys and girls, hit that like button so we can get these videos floating around. This has been Pawseplays. Enjoy the rest of your day. I will catch you guys in the next video and or at locals. Stay safe out there. I'll see y'all later.